But yeah, they've had him for about a month.
About a month?
About a month now.
Okay. Drinking from a bottle? They didn't give you a bottle?
No.
Okay, let's try one of ours then. Alright, we'll get you inside.
Thank you.
Alright, cheers, Dave. So probably gonna be a little nervous once she settles a bit.
Let's get rid of this. You'll be feel better afterwards.
You don't need no diapers.
No. Whoop. There you go. Free you are.
Well, little CT, the 17th little orphan to arrive, was found alone in somebody's garden. We're not too sure if the dogs chased the troop away and what was the real problem. She did have several cuts that have healed. Was kept by the person for a month or so before handing her over. Little one did have thrush, so it's going to take a little bit of time to get her sorted out. Again, you can see somebody tried to keep them as a pet. As soon as you see they come here with a little nappy and things like that, it's normally the intentions were to try and keep it longer until they find out the problems, and also that it's illegal to keep them as pets, thank goodness, in South Africa. But this little one, as you can see, the progress did come in a little bit of a state, and of course she's back out there in the troop as happy as ever. Well, for those of you who are following, I'll leave it up to you to decide which one is CT. The other one is Terry. So maybe you can see if you can tell the difference between the two. Alright, if you couldn't guess, is the one on the top at the moment with a slightly protruding belly button, and of course he's a little male, so it was one of the giveaway signs. And of course here you can see him much later on up in the trees, totally black little face, enjoying himself, and part of the whole big family out there. You wouldn't actually say it's that same cute little monkey, just having fun. Well, here we have little Linda, the 18th little orphan, arrived at about 6 to 7 weeks of age, and if you remember, she was brought through by the Johannesburg wildlife vets. We also presume her mom was shot. So all of them have a little bit of traumatic experience, and some of them just behave kind of differently depending on what trauma they went through afterwards. But it's kind of remarkable to see what these little ones are coming in as, how quickly they progress, and move on to finding a mom, and then it's so nice just to see them out there, back out in the wild.
Your banana mix.
less excited. So Maggie's got a really light coat. So here we have Linda on the right. So she has the purple dye on the left arm. And just in the background is Giovanni.
Our little girl all grown up now and a complete little black face. I know you want to be with me, but I'm probably the worst.
Come on, yeah, good boy.
Little boy.
So this is baby number 19. He is a little boy and his mom was hit by a car. He was picked up by someone and brought to Maholo another rescue center, and they have called us, so they've picked him up today, and we're going to see what he needs. They said that apparently he is unharmed, but he's missing his mom very much.
Oh, this is Giovanni. So you can see them all the females lip smacking. Very excited.
So little Giovanni out with foster mom, Shaiwan, and doing very, very well.
So what's the story? Do we know?
I think it was she was found on a game reserve, but apparently hiding in the garage away from the rain.
Okay.
So on their house, but on a game reserve in between sort of us and Hidsbury.
Okay.
And that's about as much as I know, as much as they know.
So just found alone.
She's found alone, no mum, no nothing.
Okay.
She seems quite old.
And when did they find her?
In the
don't know.
morning of the 14th, so about 2 days ago.
Okay. And handed into Mahalo Hollow
Mhm.
yesterday.
Yeah. So, I mean, apparently she's just been drinking and sleeping, and that's it. She's
Okay.
bawled once since I've had her. She's not done any crying.
Oh, that's probably quite stressful.
Yeah. And extremely calm.
Yeah.
The calmest I've had so far. That's probably about to change though, huh?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Relax. Forward, I think.
Hey, little one. Okay. Well, she's going to be friends of Giovanni and Linda, buried in the blankets.
Baby number 20. Just passed out in a hot water bottle. Really cold day.
I'm not too sure why, but in most of the circumstances, the little females seem to be able to find the milk bottle a lot quicker and learn to drink from the feeding cage, getting in and out of it a lot sooner, as with little Maggie here. So I don't know if it's the same with monkeys. They probably mature a little bit faster than the little males and learn a lot quicker.
So this is Maggie.
She's of course Maggie when she's at the D&D intro enclosure with Phyllis, just sharing a nice meal as they get ready to get introduced to the troop.
This is Felice and Maggie. Day 2.
And of course those are always the great moments and probably the best time at the foundation, actually seeing the little ones out there with their mom, enjoying themselves in the trees and jumping around again as normal naughty little monkeys. And it really makes, all the effort that's been put in by everybody, these are really the rewards. And sometimes even volunteering at the foundation just to come to this part and enjoy these little ones, going out, getting their moms, becoming little monkeys again, and just seeing them playing around and taking part in the monitoring and watching them as they grow up and their little faces and everything change is quite remarkable.
Momo sleeping. He was watching outside.
Well, Momo is one of these little cases where in all the rush and all the monkeys seeming to be coming at the same time, some of his records weren't actually taken down properly. So at some space we're going to have to go and try and find out. I don't really have any info of where he came from or what the reason was behind it. But Momo looks very content, as you can see there, in his own little world, just dreaming about being outside there with the other monkeys. But a very content little monkey Momo. So this is down at the Engelke enclosure. This is Oprah, and she's taken on Momo. So she seems to be his initial foster mom, and will basically be with him when she takes him out into the main enclosure. Momo having some fun with Yolanda. Yolanda, of course, you can see easily because of her arm and her not moving it that much.
Got Momo here, carried by Hannah. And then this is Kendall, I believe, hugging him on the right.
So the male that's approaching now is Kendall. And of course he breaks up the whole little family group, and then who do they blame? The person filming the whole procedure. But of course there we got little Momo back with mom and just seeing what's going on. And yes, certainly the antics of these little guys certainly makes them a pleasure to watch. There's not a day that goes by that they aren't up to something or doing something crazy. And it's just so nice to just sit out and watch them playing out there in the wild, having fun. It's really remarkable. Little Sky King, the 22nd little orphan, arrived on the 31st of December. Again, one of these cases that we're not really too sure what happened. The story was that he was just found alone on the farm, and a troop apparently just left him behind. This isn't really normal for the troop to do something like that, and in most circumstances we try and get the little one back, but the people always come up with the thing that they never know where the troop is, or it hasn't come back for quite a while, or something like this. So very hard to tell what actually happens to them, but at least they got him into us, and he's got a second chance, and we can see what we can do with him from there. This is Bizu with Sky King at the moment. So Bizu started off as the foster mom, but it doesn't mean it's always going to end up like that. As a lot of you have probably seen in some of the videos, it's quite crazy how these little ones start off and are so scared of the mothers initially. And when you look at them later on, how relaxed and settled they are, and how much trust they've actually got in the moms and the rest of the troop. So that's also one of the nice things to see, how they slowly get back into the family environment.
So there we go. So Bizu is out, carrying both Zebulon and Sky King. And off they go.
This is Sky King. He's been in the troop for a while now. He's doing really well. We're playing a lot with Luigi.
Boys, maybe about 6 weeks. Been drinking a little bit on the drive here, but not a lot, so we'll try to get some more into him. Apparently pooped and farting along the way here.
Pooping and farting? Wow.
So it's been a fun car journey. But he seems quite sleepy now.
Sounds like somebody's blaming babies.
Yeah, guys. He's quite chill, quite calm.
Do we know any background?
Yep, I've got the full story. He was found, and then he was with a family for 4 weeks.
Okay.
After the 4 weeks, he was then handed over to a lady last Monday, who then handed him over to us.
Okay. So he's just found alone.
Yeah.
So little Spirit, the 23rd orphan to arrive at 5 weeks of age. As I was saying, the mother was killed. We're not too sure why. Somebody was looking after him for about 4 weeks before handing him over to another centre, and then eventually found his way through to us. But yes, each one has its own little story. The important factor is to see how they actually migrate from being this little scared little monkey on arrival to the confident little bloke, finding a mom and enjoying themselves out back in freedom again with other monkeys of their own kind, and that's the whole objective of everything. Even though in this picture is a little bit purple, but sometimes we do have to know who is who just to identify them, because monitoring is very important to see that they're settling down well with their newfound troop.
it's sore. Huh? Come out.
And he's called Josh by Mayuri.
Josh. Look at that
He was drinking milk via syringe,
syringe.
so he might take to a bottle pretty quick if he wants to.
How do you feel about this? Okay, pretty straight on a bottle, aren't we? No syringes.
He's a big boy.
Should we check you're definitely a boy? Yeah, okay. You are a boy. How many boys is that now?
He's a big boy. He's a big boy as well. He's about
18.
He's about 3
18
months old.
boys,
Yeah, you can see
3
he's going all,
girls, 6 girls.
going all golden, aren't you already?
Well, Josh had a long way to come because he was being sold in a market in Mozambique. Fortunately, somebody collected him from there and brought him through here. Otherwise, his life could have turned out completely differently to what it has today. Sometimes the hardest part about putting these videos and little short clips together is the amount of people that keep asking for these little guys as pets. And of course this is something we're totally against. And also one of the biggest reasons we actually get them in, because people physically shoot the mothers to get the babies, to keep them as a little pet. And it is quite offensive with those people that just watch a little 15-second shot that we do and come up with these horrible comments of what we're actually doing to these animals without thinking about the people behind it, the effort, the time that goes into looking after this, and the sacrifice that a lot of people make to actually make sure these little guys get a second chance in life and that something's done about them. It's as if they want us to just leave them lying there on the road or in the bush, just struggling and dying because of a man-made incident. We are a very ethical organization. We try not to interfere in nature where we can. So if it's a fight between normal males and a normal incident happening naturally, we won't interfere. But all of these little guys are here at the foundation because of man's interference and something that man done along the way that actually caused them to lose their mother, their life, their troop, and everything else behind them. And we're just trying to give them a second chance. So sometimes I just wish people would think a little bit before they make these inconsiderate comments about what they think we might be doing. Thank you. See you guys next week.